Hello, and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. Last time we learned how necessary the genius aptitude of our very own Michiru is, and she might be a little bit of an idiot. Okay, so it has been made clear to me, and I had a feeling this was the case anyways, that on the quote-unquote common route, there isn't much of a story. And it seems to be that case, and it gets into stories once you deviate into the different endings, which is interesting. It's very much different from how Extra did it in terms of having that story and only branching out if you branch out from the story, which is interesting. In terms of, I had another question that asked, which of the 5 do I prefer at the moment? While I do have a few preferences at the moment, I would like to hold off on actually discussing it to any significant degree at the moment, just because I feel as though we've had our introduction and a bit of a more in-depth look at everyone, except one of them. So, I feel it would be unfair at this point. And that one person is one that isn't one of the ones I prefer at the moment. So, I'd like to give her a chance, at the very least. Okay, continuing where we left off, probably because I've been living in a world where maintaining a decidedly realistic perspective is a matter of necessity, I've never really felt any interest in the paranormal or occult phenomena. Such stories are often frauds, created to prey on the weakness of human nature, and more fundamentally, I've really never found any meaning in the idea of the supernatural. But in my workplace, where human lives are frequently given and taken, these sort of rumors aren't uncommon. Even a disinterested party like me has absorbed more stories than I can count on both hands. Ghost stories then, okay. When he got back, he went delirious with fever. His limbs grew numb and eventually totally immobile. When a doctor examined him, they couldn't find any cause for his condition. They threw in the towel and left him to rot in bed. It's almost like I've experienced some of these, or I've had friends who've experienced some of these. Yeah, that's gotta be it. Yeah, that's gotta be it. No, that's what really happened. And he died a month later. Template? I don't tell lies. Even white lies. He's dead. Left me a little something in his will. Whoa. Hi. Good point. Very good point. Compared to the reasonably calm Sachi and Makina, Michiru's in a state of serious terror. Amani's expression is also strangely cramped. From the way her Kansai accent is leaking out, I'd say she's not quite unaffected herself. Don't know. He wasn't that healthy to start out with, so there's a good chance he just picked up some illness that killed him. Yeah. Nope. My goodness, she just goes and goes. Michiru clamps her hands over her ears and thrashes around, moaning like a wild animal. Though the course of her evolution seems to have reached a new stage, this isn't the time to study that hypothesis. Were you that scared? Sorry.
わよ。怖くなんかないわよ。びっくりしたのよ。怖いのよ。
みちる様、落ち着いてください。結論が時計の針のごとく元通りに。
だってマジじゃんこいつ。普通は気を使ってもうちょい緩い話にするのに、容赦一切なしで優しさかけらもないし。
まあいいじゃないか。チルチルがここで恐怖のあまり失禁したとしても、みんな何事もなかったかのように振る舞う優しさは用意しているのよさ。
Are we really? Are we really?
失禁しねえよ。あとそれ優しさじゃないから。残酷だから構え。
Wait. Well, I guess it depends how you handle it. Understood. If and when Michiru pisses herself, I promise to pay very, very close attention.
すんなよ。
At any rate, my story's over, so let's just stop for now. There are 5 candles in front of us. I blow out the flame on the last one that's still burning.
はい、お疲れ様でした、皆様。
What were we trying to achieve? Sachi turns on the lights and begins to clean up the candles. After dinner, for some reason, we all ended up telling scary stories in the lobby. It was a standard campfire story ghost stories round. Right, with everyone having a try at frightening the rest. Maybe the lukewarm summer night made for a good atmosphere, as everybody got into it.
なんだかんだ言って最後のユージ君のが一番怖かったわ。
風見さんの話は虚飾がない分だけ本物っぽく聞こえましたしね。
Well, it's not actually fiction.
ちょっとやめてよ。最後は嘘でしたで終わっておくのがせめてもの優しさってもんでしょ。
Are you even trying to do your tsundere thing anymore? If I told you it was a story now, would you really even believe me?
信じるわよ。ちゃんと言うなら信じるから。
Alright, got it. The story about the tunnel was all a lie. Also, my co-worker is alive and kicking.
あ、
Do you really believe me?
やっぱ無理。信じられないわよ。なんとかしてよ。洗脳してよ。そういう機会持ってきてよ。
You're just fucking spinning. Yeah, I think they'd give up after a few minutes with your brain. Ignoring Michiru's hysterics, everyone starts to head back to their rooms. At this point, I realize something's been a bit, odd about tonight. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Sakaki. The others pause at my words, then turn around with awful expressions on their faces.
そういや、今日は見かけなかったわね。さっちゃん見た？
いえ、今日は学校では見かけましたが、寮では見た記憶がありません。
This is pretty late in the day to be noticing that no one's seen her.
私はちらっと見たけど、すぐに部屋へ引っ込んじゃったから、その後はわかんないのよさ。
Well, she should be alive at the very least. Maybe she didn't want to deal with us in a group. Seems believable. Given Sakaki's personality, I can't imagine her voluntarily participating in this sort of social event. My guess would be that she just shut herself up in her room, since she can avoid running into our gathering if she went downstairs.
いや、あの子って別にそこまでこういうイベント嫌いじゃないわよ。
Really?
まあ積極的に参加してるかというとそうでもないけどね。でも参加しておかなきゃって意志みたいなのはあると思う。
Amane nods at Michiru's words. Okay.
そうね。普段みんながここで集まってる時もあそこに背中くっつけて立ったままで話聞いてたりするもんね。
Interesting. Well, you haven't done it with me yet, so maybe that's part of it. She points to the pillar on the edge of the lobby in the hallway.
はい、だから今日この場にいないことは比較的異変のように感じます。
I see.
ユミちゃんはわかりやすいテンプレみたいなクーデレだから照れてんのよさ。お兄ちゃんがちょっとスケベ心出して突っ込んだら
Would a Kudai actually try to attack people and whatnot? I don't know. Brings out the beast inside and attacks. Oh my.
だってそんな恥ずかしいじゃないって速攻落ちるに決まってるのよさ。
You seem way too excited about that possibility.
はい、それぐらいの対応はあってしかるべきではないかと思います。
Don't you encourage her. Don't you dare.
榊さんは精巧なロボットのように的確なクーデレぶりを常時発揮されますし、今回の一件もそれに起因するものであるのはもはや明白であると思われます。
私なんか今すごくユミコに同情しちゃったわ。
同情？なんで？ひょっとしてチルチルもわかりやすい属性持ち同士、その辺は分かり合える部分があるとか、そういうの？同族意識？チームプレイ？
Machina, you are so fucking brutal.
なあ、顔を背けてねえで言うのよさ。
うるせえ、あんたのそういう必要ないじりに同情するって言ってんでしょうが。
大きな声を出さないでください、みちる様。急に大声を出すとお体に触ります。私は無鉄砲に生きるみちる様が心配でなりません。
Also, very brutal. My goodness.
サチもなんかなそういうの。
As I watch Machina, whose abusive tongue and nasty personality are growing more pronounced, Sachi, whose cyborg-like reactions are growing more dramatic, and Michiru, who's growing more victimized by the day, I find myself growing a little curious about Sakaki's way of life. Come to think of it, since that box cutter incident was resolved a few days ago, I don't really remember exchanging anything but very basic communications with her. I don't intend to pry too deeply, but for the sake of a smooth school life from this point on, it might be a good idea to learn a little bit more about her. Do I really need to? Hey, there's something I want to ask you guys about. Do you have a few minutes? Let's plan a surprise party or something, I don't know. I guess we'll see.
気のせいかしら。
危なかったのよさ。
はい、さすがに勘が鋭いですね。
Wait, all three of us? Wait, 3 of us? Well, when you're being followed by this many people, of course you're going to notice. Yesterday evening, I tried to lightly ask the others about Sakaki's daily life and habits, but the answers I received in return provided much flimsier information than I had expected. The one thing I had known about Sakaki Yumiko is that she doesn't let people see much about herself, much less her private life. Our only real glimpses of her thoughts are hints from her gestures and body language. In short, Sakaki's lifestyle is vaguely defined mystery, even to the people she's been living with. Without an active effort at observation, things are likely to stay that way.
だからこそ、ユミちゃんの生態を調査するのよ。
Why are you two helping me of all people too? Well, I can actually get why Sachi's helping me, but actually I can sort of get why Machina's helping me too. But I can't say I support those sorts of reasons. Probably 80% out of idle curiosity, Machina and Sachi ended up volunteering to cooperate with my investigation. That cooperation has taken the form of an incredibly sloppy tailing operation that was nearly given away in a matter of seconds. To be honest, they're nothing but a burden, Machina in particular. I asked the wrong people.
どうかしたのよ。
No, forget it. If things are getting bad, it's every man for himself. Putting aside any reflection on the basic question of why we're doing this for later, we continue our investigation of the highly mysterious Sakaki. Yeah.
棒のように足が鳴って疲れたのよ。
Did we even get any information? Lying limply on her side, on the sofa in the lobby, Machina mumbles a few grammatically scrambled words of complaint.
結局、何一つわかりませんでしたね。
Sachi flops down next to me, heaving a tired sigh herself. Well, her guard was even tighter than anticipated. After spending an entire day following Sakaki's every movement outside of class, we gained absolutely no new information. During her free period, she reads books and absorbs silence. Her pace in school was always steady and regular, without any suspicious hasty movements.
人間味が感じられなかったのよさ。ロボットっぽいというか、無機質な感じがしたのよ。
A walking rock. Wouldn't that be interesting? Just as Machina says, Sakaki's behavior was reminiscent of a machine.
はい、あれではまるでサイボーグのように思います。
Says you. You're one to... Well, whatever. You're not wrong. But I don't think I can really be satisfied with this. From what I heard yesterday, Sakaki doesn't dislike being in a group with others. Even if she doesn't participate in a conversation, the way she's constantly lingering at the edge is easily comprehensible from the perspective of human psychology. That doesn't fit with her machine-like actions in the daytime. In the first place, does she ever let her emotions show on her face? Apart from the hostility Sakaki showed me at first, I haven't seen any evidence of an emotional reaction from her.
そういえば、喜怒哀楽とはちょっと違うのですが。
Sachi raises her hand and speaks somewhat hesitantly.
榊さんがびっくりしているところを見たことならあります。
Even a robot can be startled. Well, yeah, depends, I suppose. Startled.
ええ。
Sakaki. It doesn't seem like she'd bat an eyelid even if the dorm exploded on her. What kind of surprise got a reaction out of her? In response to my question, Sachi continues in a slightly hushed tone.
榊さんにはかなり不本意な話だと思うのですが、そのカップ焼きそばをですね。
Instant yakisoba.
はい、おヤングのソース焼きそばです。湯切り楽々ホールが標準搭載。熱湯3分。
Not interested in the brand name or product features. What does it have to do with Sakaki?
あのカップ焼きそばって湯切りをするじゃないですか。
Okay.
お湯を捨てた時にシンクが熱湯に反応してボンって音を立てるのわかります？
True. It'll make a sound if you dump it all at once.
はい、それで同じことを榊さんがして。
Is that all? Is that all? Is that really all? Oh! Atsu.
焼きそばが仕方ない。榊さん、これそのまま。で、私は後片付けをして帰ってきました。
Yeah, that doesn't help at all. Sakaki did that. With that cool and calm appearance, you'd never think she'd be startled by something as small as that. In reality, she must have had a pretty low tolerance for sudden scares. I kind of want to see that side of Sakaki. But I'm not particularly likely to run into her at the exact moment she's draining her instant noodles. And given Sakaki's personality, I doubt she'll make the same mistake twice anyways. Although I wouldn't mind seeing her cautiously filling the sink, preparing a strainer, intensely draining the hot water either. Okay.
いいなそれ。私も見てみたいのよさ。
Unfortunately, I doubt she'll do that twice.
それは湯切りの話でしょ。別の方法だったらいいのよ。
You are devious. What? Makina lightly jumps off the couch, floating a diabolical grin.
ユミちゃんを待ち伏せして驚かしてやればいいのよさ。
I could probably do that relatively well. Then she'll definitely think I'm out to get her and try to kill me again, though. I'm almost confident in that. What are you saying?
面白そうだけど、榊さんをひどく怒らせることになるんじゃないのかな。
Or at least suspicion. My goodness. Just as Sachi says, when you consider the aftermath, trying a stunt like that on Sakaki seems like a very dangerous plan.
私だけでやるから大丈夫なのよ。バレないようにやるから平気なのよさ。
Why do I not trust you? But Makina's malicious curiosity seems to outweigh her awareness of the risk. Okay, you can do whatever you want.
サッチ、そろそろ帰ってくる。
はい、あと2分ほどで玄関に到着します。
We're horrible people. I think we're horrible people. Intelligence arrives from our detached unit, namely Sachi.
これであとは ターゲットが近づくのを待つだけなのよさ。
And do what? Is this really going to work?
万全なのよさ。お兄ちゃんはそこで高みの見物を決め込んでおけばいいのよ。
Just as Makina says, I'm hidden near the hallway, observing the scene.
ユミコが驚くこととか本当にあるのかしら。
You would join in.
ってなんでチルチルもいるの？
いいでしょ、気になるから来ただけよ。
Sakaki climbs her way up the stairs, approaching the second floor hallway. In that instant, Makina calls out instructions into her cell phone.
今なのよさ。
At Makina's signal, Sachi cuts the breaker to the hallway from the other end of the phone call.
何？
She's surprised! Sakaki is taken aback for a brief moment.
停電？困るわね。
But her voice quickly regains its usual steadiness. Once again, her footsteps ring out in regular rhythm. So we can end at this. If you really want to get her surprised, then you would get surprising things one after another. Make her a bit more frustrated with the surprises. Cause her to lose her composure that way.
おそらくターゲットはそのビビリな性格ゆえに停電で真っ暗闇になった今はきっと神経を張り巡らせているはず。
Right as Sakaki approaches the door in front of her, Makina presses the switch in her hand.
何？
Sakaki twirls around at the odd noise, but finds nothing more than a flower pot, sitting demurely on a nearby shelf. In an unremarkable earthenware pot, there's nothing but a small decorative plant. Oh, is there? Sakaki sighs in relief after discovering the innocuous origin of the strange sound. But she hasn't taken her eyes off the houseplant yet.
でもそれゆえに一度安心すると普段以上に緊張が緩むのよさ。
You're evil. As Makina whispers these words, she presses the switch a second time. Just then, a perfectly normal houseplant abruptly splits in two down the middle from its depths. An object resembling a giant eyeball emerges. Although it might be different under the bright lighting, seeing this thing pop out at you in the dark must be something of a shock. As expected, Sakaki freezes dead on the spot, her eyes and mouth open wide. Something like that. Something that might be an attempt at speech might be a single... something that might be an attempt at speech and might be a single gasp leaks out of her mouth. After a moment, she draws in a giant breath of air. And in a loud voice that I could never have imagined emerging from Sakaki's mouth, she screams. Sound echoes throughout the dorm. It's not just that she's loud. Unlike her normal, low, vaguely threatening tone, Sakaki's voice right now is remarkably girly. Nice job, Makina. Although, I feel a little sorry for Sakaki as she trembles in terror. This is truly an interesting spectacle. How did you do the eye thing? How did you even get the resources for something like that?
おーい、ユミちゃんマジ驚きじゃない。どれどれ、どんな顔してる？エッチな顔とかしちゃってる？
Do you want it to be lewd? My goodness.
あんた鬼だわ、本当に。
Not in a bad way, though.
ちょっとチルチル、もうちょっと見せてよ。
あ、ちょっと押さないでよ、マキナ。
And so we fall out of our hiding spot to Sakaki's surprise. Losing their balance, Makina and Michiru tumble from their hiding position, landing in front of Sakaki. And dead. At this point, Sakaki finally grasps the nature of the situation.
ユミコ、どうしたの？停電しちゃったみたいね。
急な停電だったからびっくりしたのよさ。
Just then, Sachi returns with an exquisitely bad timing.
やりましたね。お見事です。作戦は大成功。
Are you doing this on purpose? I swear. After adding some exquisitely unhelpful lines, She clamps her mouth shut. Just don't cry. Yumiko looks around the faces of everybody at the scene and then glances down at herself. Am I showing myself?
どういうことかしら?
If she sees me, she's literally going to go back to trying to kill me. I can predict it now. The tone of her voice has completely returned to normal.
いやこれはねちょっと理由があって
You were curious. Makina is evil.
チルチルがやろうって言ったんだよ。
You, wow. Wow.
おま濡れ衣
Wow.
チルチルも楽しんでたんだから同罪だよ。粛々と無所暮らしするがいいのよさ。
だったらあんたも罪を償えよ。私一人悪者でしょ今の言い方。
そう。何が目的かわからないけど、あなたたちが仕組んでいたのね。報復は覚悟の上ということで。
落ち着いてください、榊さん。ユミちゃんが怒った。
なんで私の方めがけて追っかけてくる。ちょっといや
As the perpetrators scatter around the dorm, Sakaki tracks down Michiru. There's murder in her eyes. She's waving her box cutter around like the incarnation of wrath. Where did the person who let out that scream go? Okay. I don't think she's going to calm down anytime soon. Let me just quietly slip away. Turning my back on the violent turmoil taking place in the upper floors, I head downstairs by myself. And go to sleep. So such a peaceful sleep too. Nothing to worry about. Yo, you're up early.
誰かさんに下劣なドッキリを仕掛けられないよう早めに学校へ行くことにしたのよ。
Oh, did you get pranked? I didn't even know. After that, Sakaki caught the criminals and beat the details out of them as I groveled in penance before her. Did they tell her about me? Because I don't know. Okay. As a related party myself, I was called before her to receive my own interrogation. Oh, fuck. In the end, she heaved a truly exasperated sigh, and without any particular retaliation, returned to her room with heavy footsteps. Good idea. I don't know about Sachi, but Makina and Michiru are probably still asleep. Sorry. Sakaki reaches her hand into the bucket, presumably containing her box cutter, glaring reproachfully at me. I raise my hand dramatically over my head in an attempt to demonstrate my lack of hostile intent. In response, Sakaki sighs deeply, passing by my side, and strides off quickly in the direction of the school building. Oh well. So, mind if I ask you something?
これ以上私に何の恥をかかせる気なの?
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? As I follow, a few footsteps behind her, Sakaki answers my question with her own, her voice hard with an attempt at intimidation. Hey, I'm not looking to tease you or look down at you. It really is just a question.
分かったわ。じゃあ手短に言ってちょうだい。
Did you know that everybody had a late night gathering in the lobby 2 days ago?
そうみたいね。
So she was aware of it after all. Okay. If you knew about it, why didn't you join in? From what the others told me, you don't particularly dislike that sort of event. If me being there made it awkward to join in, could you say why? I need to know before I can try to correct my behavior. I'm clearly an alien existence in this school, much less the dorm. I don't intend to trample on the native people's territorial rights or the dignity of their culture. Not that I plan to be particularly submissive either, but still. As much as possible, I'd like to aim for peaceful coexistence, meaning I need to understand the boundaries I shouldn't cross. For that reason, I want to know why Sakaki absented herself the other day. Especially if it's connected with me in some way.
別にあなたに直してほしいところがあるわけじゃないわ。
Okay, in that case, why? In response to my question, she hesitates for a moment. Rather than being uncomfortable about speaking her feelings to me, I get the sense that she's reluctant to admit the truth to herself. I don't know, is she just bad with guys? I don't know, she seems bad with people in general. I wonder if we could drive someone to that point. Obviously something traumatic, but I hope it isn't something really trivial. That would be sort of disappointing. After a silence of about 20 seconds, Sakaki finally speaks. Truly unexpected words. What did he say just now? Apparently, my face is easy to read as Sakaki reproaches me with a resentful expression.
あなたの言う通り、別にあそこに集まったりするのが嫌なわけじゃない。けどいいでしょ？人には苦手なものだってあるんだから。
Judging from the way she got scared at the sound of a sink denting and the dramatic success of the prank yesterday, I did gather that she was your standard scaredy cat, but it just feels weird hearing her actually come out and admit it. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. It just seems really out of character.
あなたに直してほしいところが一つできたわ。
And what is that?
その無神経さよ。少しは人に気を使ったらどうなの？
Nah. After Sakaki speaks those words, she makes a beeline towards the school building without stopping or looking back again. From her dignified bearing, there's not the slightest hint of a person who was shrieked at that prank. I guess I should just leave this alone for now. As the first step towards mending my apparent insensitivity, I decide to refrain from teasing her further. Oh no! No! At any rate, through this incident, I've discovered that even the stone-faced cutter woman has her cute side. Okay. Apparently they all do to some extent. Imprinting. Are we gonna go back to Machina? Newborn chicks identify the first thing they see as their parent. The term refers to this sort of rapidly forming, durable conviction. Today, almost anyone you ask will have heard something about the phenomenon, but fewer know that imprinting isn't limited to the animal kingdom, but also occurs among humans, even average female students. Yeah. While all of them except maybe Sakaki, I could say, would be able to fit that description at least a little bit. I'd say Machina is the most likely. This particular discovery is the product of my own recent experience.
Kazami-san, konbanwa.
Oh, okay. Is it you or is it Machina? Like I said at the beginning of this, we really haven't gotten a nice bit more of a in-depth look at your own situation and your own personality, have we, Sachi? Yeah. When I leave my room, I find Sachi heading towards the second floor with a deck brush and a bucket. Is this set cleaning time for the dorm?
いえ、そういう決まりはありませんよ。
Interesting. And why are you carrying a bucket and deck brush?
それはこれから大浴場の掃除をしようと思ったからです。
If I remember correctly, you told me a contractor comes in to clean that bathroom.
はい、その通りなのですが。業者さんが私たちも毎日来られるわけではないので、日頃の手入れはお願いしますと言っていたので。
It's a bathroom. You don't need to clean it every single day. You're cleaning it on your own initiative.
はい。時間があった時は、みちる様やあまねさんも手伝ってくれるので、そんなに大変じゃないんです。
Okay. I guess that's sort of class rep-esque, but more importantly, you intending to clean in that outfit?
はい。なるべくメイド服でというのが皆さんからの希望なので。
I don't know. You can. Considering the vagueness of those words, I'm a little concerned about how she's interpreting them. So, when you go out, what do you usually wear?
メイド服です。
How about when you're studying in your room?
メイド服です。
When you're in the bath?
すっぽんぽんです。
Good. When you're sleeping?
メイド服です。
Oh my goodness. Okay, I get the picture. Basically, she's in a maid uniform pretty much every moment she's not in school or bathing. No wonder the principal said she wears it more often than not. but wearing a service uniform when you're sleeping is a little... Wait, don't tell me you don't have any other clothing.
持っていますよ。
So, what do you really enjoy do you really... So, what, you really enjoy wearing that uniform?
どうでしょう。最初はただ着ているという感覚だったのですが、よく見るとところどころにあしらわれたこのフリルも可愛いですし、今では往年来から愛用していたもののようにしっくりきています。
If you say so. So basically, she likes the clothes themselves. In that case, Sachi, let me give you my opinion on your style.
はい。
You need to make the skirt shorter, and you need more cleavage. No. Fundamentally, men are simple creatures. Rather than clothes with a narrow appeal like a maid uniform, we prefer a more simple, straightforward, erotic look.
つまりすっぽんぽんということでしょうか。
That's a bit extreme. Also, it takes time and effort to change the appearance of your body itself. Well, clothing does a great job of framing. It also does a great job of leaving some things to the imagination, which is exciting in its own right. And I don't know why I'm getting into this. Whoops, daisy.
ということは下着。
Maid uniform underwear. I wonder what that would even look like. Right. For example, I'd imagine you're wearing modest underwear appropriate for a student, but what do you think would happen if you, the class rep, flash everyone a peek at unexpectedly adult lingerie?
どうなりますか。
That momentary glimpse of your unpredictability would dramatically shift the way people perceive you.
なるほど。目から鱗です。
In conclusion, underwear isn't something you hide, it's something you show off. Keep that in mind. This is the worst part. Goodness.
なるほど。下着は隠すものではなく見せるものでもある。下着は隠すものではなく見せるものでもある。
Something terrible must have happened to you to cause you to be this immensely trusting and weirdly submissive. But if you go past a casual level with this, it'll backfire on you. Do it in moderation. Well, that should be common sense, but...
覚えました。
Okay. Alright, I think I've gotten my point across.
はい、わかりました。
Can't imagine. No, nothing's coming to mind of what could have happened to her. I know all of them have had something happen to them in the past. They're here for a reason. The games made it abundantly obvious that's the case. And people commenting have made it abundantly obvious that's the case too, so... Yeah. With those words, Sachi headed to the second floor. At that time, I'd forgotten something very important. At this school, there are students for whom common sense doesn't always apply. Yeah. I swear to goodness if she just comes in only in her underwear today.
ああ、ユージおはよう。
Yep. When I entered the classroom, I exchanged greetings with Mitru, who was, as usual, the first to arrive at class. Next up, Sakaki arrives. Takatun, as usual.
みんなおはよ
The energetic Cicada sisters follow.
おはようございます。
Ow. Head. And it's Chibi. Of course it's Chibi. And finally, Sachi in underwear. Her underwear.
う。
This is not what I intended. The four others freeze up at the unexpected spectacle.
さっちゃん、とりあえずこれに着替えて。今はこのお願いが絶対最優先。
Why do you even have that on you? Coming to her senses, Amane grabs a maid uniform from Sachi's locker, okay, and throws it over to her.
はい、小峰幸着替えます。
前置きはいいから早く。
はい。着替え終わりました。
Yeah. I don't know if I should be disturbed by this or not, but oh my goodness.
ふ
Once Sachi's on the spot, changing is complete. Amane sighs in relief.
ちょっとサチ、さっきの格好、どうしよう、まだつけてくるの忘れちゃったってどころの騒ぎじゃないわよ。
Is that a thing for you, Michiru?
いえ、今日は下着を見せようと思って。
Not just the underwear look, the lingerie look.
なんで？
No.
下着は隠すものではなく見せるものでもあると教えてもらったので。
Sachi's reply is a word-for-word repetition of my advice from yesterday. Although that's something admirable in a way, it seems the warning I added at the end went in one ear, not the other. With these withering glances of scorn aren't exactly comfortable either. Sorry, but my proclivities are pretty normal. I'm not going to get off no matter how much you glare at me.
誰がそういうプレーだと言ったか。
You, presumably? Could have sworn.
この状況でどこをどう間違ったらそういう考えになるのか、こっちが聞きたいくらいよ。それに、そういうことを言って得する人間は今この学園に一人しかいないと思うんだけど。
じゃあ犯人はお兄ちゃん？
Oh, that's a strong way of saying it.
最低ね。
As expected. With Amane's words, the other two turned their glances on me as well.
ねえユージくん、ちょっと聞きたいんだけど、もしかして昨日さっちゃんに何か言った？
I did tell Sachi that underwear is more popular among the male population compared to the maid uniform. I didn't mean to demand that she come to school wearing nothing else.
あんたにそういうつもりがなくても、サチがそう思ったら同じことなの。
No, it isn't. So, this works on the same theory as schoolyard bullying. Okay.
サチはアマネなんかと違って純粋な子なんだから。
Yeah. Is she?
それどういう意味？ああ、ごめん、ただの例えってだけだから。例えならいいって問題でもないと思うんだけど。
あの二人に任せておくと話が進まないから代わりに言っておくけど。
Sure. Please do, please. Grant me with your everlasting wisdom, Mrs. Scattycat.
小峰さんは融通が利かないというか、言い方は悪いけど頭にバカがつくほど真面目なのよ。
Yeah, I've noticed. So much so that she'd hear, wear a maid uniform when you can, and wear nothing else from the next day on.
そうそう。ってなんであんたがそのこと知ってるのよ。
She told me herself the day I transferred in. Sachi confirms my words silently. You know, we're saying all this stuff about her right in front of her too.
まあ、今まで私たちに聞いてこなかったのが不思議なくらいだったしね。
上に同じく。
そういうわけで、とにかくサチは純真なの。ピュアホワイトなのよ。ちょっと前、十徳ナイフのことを説明した時にも言ったと思うけど、サチの前で軽はずみなことを言うと、こう誰かみたいに後で泣きを見る羽目になるんだから。
I wonder who that certain someone might be. True, it's pretty lame the way she keeps calling you Michiru-sama.
人がわざとぼかして言ってるんだからはっきり言うな。
I thought she was indirectly asking for the follow-up, but it seemed like she was actually purposely being vague.
他にもメイド服のまま水泳の授業を受けようとしたり
寮の屋上からロープを垂らして外壁の掃除をしようとしたこともあったわね。
Oh my goodness. She sounds unusually athletic for a class rep.
仕事を選ばないのがクラス委員ですから。
まあ普通のクラス委員は着衣水泳をやろうとしたりロープとかの真似事はしないと思うけどね。とにかくそういうわけだからいい加減なことをサチに吹き込まないように。
Is there a way I could use this to my advantage? I have to keep this in mind. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
小峰さんも女の子なんだからもう少し慎みを持った方がいいと思うわよ。はい、その線引きが非常に難しいですけど頑張ります。
よし。じゃあユージのこともギャフンと言わせたことだし、1時間目の準備でもするとしますかね。
Am I just gonna take that lying down?
さっきのやりとりの中でそんな部分あったかな。
そこは言わないでおいてあげるのが優しさってもんなのよさ。
小峰さん、意外に大人びた下着を持っているのね。
That's what you focus on? Apparently, finished with their warnings and advice, everyone except Sachi returns to their respective seats.
すみません、風見さん。私のせいで皆さんから怒られてしまって。
No, nothing to apologize for. Well, I mean, I don't think I've worded my advice that well, and I'm impressed that, by your willingness to put your body on the line.
ありがとうございます。
So this time, I think I'll teach you how to casually emphasize your underwear.
そんな方法があるんですか？私また目から鱗がこぼれ落ちそうです。
だからあんたたちは人の話を聞きなさいってば。
No. Why would I ever take advice from you? They say that for a parent bird, raising one chick to adulthood is the work of a lifetime, but for a transfer student, making friends with a classmate of the opposite sex is pretty rough on its own way. Okay. Yeah, that's where I'm going to end it for today. Yeah, that's basically what I was waiting for. Something that would give me a more significant look at Sachi. Because we had the Swiss Army knife thing, but it really wasn't that extensive when you get down to it. It sort of lost emphasis on her pretty quickly. She really is... I don't know. She has such a weird mind. I'm trying to, like, understand where she's coming from, but it feels so inhuman, almost. Fictional character, obviously, but... It's like... It's difficult to even... It's difficult to emphasize with her. I mean, I guess the obvious potential cause of that would be abuse. I mean, if you try to... If your abuse was directed in a way that someone interpreted it like, they'll only love you if you do what they say or something like that, then that seems like the most obvious way that sort of mindset could manifest, sort of. But it's so extreme, and she almost seems happy doing it. Oh well. That's really all I got for now. I'm actually going to be recording a bit into the future, relatively soon. So, sort of like the previous times. But that's just because of stuff coming out next week in terms of games that I want to record ahead so I can have time to jump on that. I'll see you all next time. Drive safely, everyone.